started now. Guys, we'd like to welcome you to our monthly mastermind. We did hear that this may change date, but it will, or of the week, but it will always be at the same time. So in January, it will be the third Tuesday or Thursday of the month. They will correct me on that later. And today's speaker, this is our head real estate coach here at Next Level Coaching. Guys, make sure you have a pen and the paper. I was on a meeting with her earlier and she said something that amazingly, even for a lender and for a coach, I had to call her back right after the meeting and go, Marjorie, that was genius. You went too fast for me. Can I write it down? Guys, I'm going to implement this here in the next couple days because what she said, I should have been doing for the last 6 years. So when she talks, I grab a piece of paper and pen. Marjorie, that is the respect I have for you. This will be my sixth time hearing you. Thank you so much. And thank you so much for being with Next Level Coaching. You have been an absolute asset. Guys, this is Marjorie Adams.
Gosh, I'm just going to go around. You're going to come with me to my listing appointments. You're like, hold
With my
on.
crystal ball.
Exactly. Hold on before I get started, Jonas. Thank you, Jonas. But thank you guys. Listen, I'm so proud of you. I mean, there's 51 people. I know there's some groups on here. I can't see all of you. But good on you. It's like the end of the year. While a lot of people have decided to go hibernate until spring, it is not time to do that. So I really, as we were going to talk about this and we're talking about, planning for next year, I thought, gosh, what I'm going to talk about. And then I said, well, why don't I just share what I'm actually doing, right? Let's not talk about a theory. Let's talk about what I do to start preparing for next year, which should be, I would think, what you guys should be doing for next year. So business planning. So the funny thing is, depending who's listening, you're either like, whoa, like I get excited. I get a new planner. I get my colored markers, which everyone makes fun of me for. And I get excited about business planning. And then there's some people that it's like, they don't like it. You're all going to like it now. So yay, business planning. So here's the thing. We have to have an intentional business plan. So intentional. So it's written, it's followed. It's not this, posted on the wall kind of thing that none of us ever look at again, right? So I promise you that if you do this on purpose, deliberately, and then you take actions to make these things happen and you're clear, you will have a much better next year. You just will. So we're going to put intention in your business. We're going to put intention in this planning. Now I'm going to be sharing a lot of thoughts on forms. And I'm going to share them all. So some of you, you're going to be like, I don't have that form. Don't panic. I promise we'll make sure you get it. So if you don't have it, you will have it. And we're going to make sure you do them. And I think that this can be really exciting. So I want you all to really, as you launch into this, to be excited about it. Whatever 2024 look like is about to be done. So again, best year, woohoo, worst year, let's go. So this is what we're going to do. So I'm big on having a plan. I love a plan. I take a lot of notes. I'm very directed. I have a checklist for my checklists. So I am a planner. So if you're not, we're going to help you. Yay. We're going to help you today with your planning. So let's talk about it. So we're going to have a written business plan, right? And there's going to be different components to it. You're going to review this. Now, I would argue you should review it weekly, monthly, quarterly. This is not a one-time and done thing. This isn't an aspirational, I put it in a drawer thing. So I can't see all y'all, but let's pretend I could. How many of you actually, raise your hand for those I can see you, complete a written business plan every year? Sweet. We got a couple. Okay, I like it. All right. And some people are like, nope, not gonna, no, I don't. Okay, so we're going to work on that. So this is what you now get to decide what you want your business to look like. And you put steps in place and then stop making excuses, right? So here's the thing. Part of this is, yep, rates have been high. Yep, inventory's been low. Yep, there were the realtor lawsuits that are ongoing. Yep, you've had to pivot in different things. Yep, your clients aren't moving as often. I hear you. I live it. So let's be clear. I do this every day. So the coaching is like a second job. I pay my bills with my first job, which is real estate. I'm in the trenches with you every day. So we got to think about, what are we doing? So we're going to make a plan for next year. We're not going to worry about if we hit it this year or not, because frankly, there's nothing you can do about it now. If we had talked 8 months ago, I could have worked with you on 2024. I can't help you now, right? So we're going into 2025. So if we could start by creating your goals, Stop comparing yourselves to people in your office, people in your town, da 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 da. Who's doing this? Doesn't matter. So I really want you to start with a why. So you're going to take a second. I can see some of you. So you're going to take a pen and you're going to write down why. Why do you do this? So this is where you're going to start. So I can see if you're doing it. So this is what's fun. I see you, Sherry Smith. I can see you. I see all of you. So why do you do this? Why are you doing it? And here's the thing. The best part of this is there's no right answer. Why you're doing it doesn't matter if it's different than other people's. So you can have motivation. I mean, obviously, pay your bills, take care of your family, leave a legacy, right? Those are things. You could want to buy a bigger house. You could want to buy a boat or a motorcycle. You could want to donate so much money. Here's the best part. You don't have to really explain why, and you don't have to justify it. Your why gets to be yours, right? So what are you motivated by? Seriously, you got to figure that out. So some people, it's competition. Some people, it's praise. Some people, it's to beat this many, to close this many per month, or they want to work this many hours per week. You guys have to figure out kind of how that motivates you. Why does it matter to you? Right? Like for me, I used to be super competitive. I was on coaching calls and it was like, I love you all very much, but I will destroy you with love and compassion. I want to hurt you, but I'm going to crush you. That I wanted to win. It was just my thing. It's just not my thing. Not that I don't want to win, but my competition has become much more with myself, right? I'm much more where I fit in the town's records. I don't care. I just don't, it doesn't matter to me anymore. So what motivates you? And you got to really pay attention to this because this is part of your planning. Okay. So I want you to think on that. And then we're going to keep going. So we got to have some clear vision. And this is where I think most people struggle. Lenders, realtors, doesn't matter. And that vision isn't clear. What does their business look like? What does it feel like? And that sounds very like granola Marjorie touchy-feely, and it is a little bit, but it's not. I think that if you don't have a vision of what your experience is like, if you don't have a vision of what it feels like to work with you, right? What your brand is, who you are, then to me, it's like, how can you expect that to be clear? Like, how can I market and explain why you should work with me when I don't even really have that clear? So we're going to work on some of those things. So things I want you guys to do, and I'm going to prove to you that I do it too. So it's not just me telling you. One, I'm sure you've heard of this. It's called a vision board. Some people are super into it. Some people think it's hokey. I don't care. I want you to do it. So like, here's an example of a vision board, right? They can be different numbers, like 10 new relationships was on here. And then like I've started for my next year's. So like I got, my puppies. Look how cute that dog is. That's one of my dogs. So cute. And then I have trips that I want to take. I have my mastermind that I created. I have, I like to shell. I think you all know that. So I have pictures of shells. Yes, shelling's a real thing. This is another dog, right? So it's spending time with my family. I lost my dad this year. So that's my dad and my husband. But spending time with my dad was super important. This is my stepdad. We went to Greece, so we like to travel together, right? So where I like to go, what I want to do, spending time with my family, right? That's all part of my vision board. How many units I want to close? Sure. How much money I want to make? Whatever it is. So I want you guys to create a vision board. I have one. My one for this year is really big. It's actually in my car. Apparently my vision grew. I just had a bigger poster board. So I need you guys to do a vision board. Have some fun with it. Now, it's not hard. Get some magazines, go online, download some pictures. You guys are creative. You can draw them. That might be funny. But I personally would get a bunch of words that matter to you. So you're going to do a vision board. Okay. Are we all committing to that? Raise your hand. I'm committing to doing a vision board. Look at that. Jonas, are you committing to doing it? Okay. I want to make sure. All right. Then if you were at our event, you got from when I spoke your values exercise. Those of you that weren't, I will make sure you get a copy of it. Your values exercise is to circle the top 10 values or words that resonate with you, right? So I want you to have your values exercise done. And then from that, you're going to pick your word or theme of 2025. Okay. So what it's gonna help you when you do this exercise. Because this
Do I
exercise,
have that sheet somewhere I can pop in the chat screen?
let's see. I could find it, but I might log myself out.
Guys, we'll find it. We'll find it later. I'm texting Rebecca right now. We'll get it put in the chat screen
I
for
know
you.
Rebecca has it. I know they have it because it was in the book. So my values exercise, everything I talk about other than the board, the vision board you can make, right? Yes, you just go to like a grocery store and get a piece of board and glue it on. Very easy. So you're going to pick your words that resonate with you, and then you're going to pick your word or theme of the year. So funny enough, my theme for next year is discipline, because I have a lot of joy and I have a lot of fun. Some of y'all need it to be fun or joy, because I need to see some more fun or joy. I have a ton of fun or joy. I need a little more discipline, right? And so how I'm going to carry that out. So you're going to do a values exercise. We're going to share that with you. And then you're going to come up with your theme. What resonates with you? Some people will go be like, you don't need to go to like a desert and spend 5 days. A word's going to pop in. Let's just go with it, right? So you don't have to spend too much time on that. Then you're going to work on your ideal day. Your ideal day. Okay. So I say this and people are like, are you high? No, I'm not. Like, your ideal day does not happen every day. Like, we're realtors and lenders. Some days I'm like, I am crushing it. And some days I'm like, I have been run over today. But an ideal day, if you're not clear on what one looks like, you're never going to have one, right? Like, if I ask you, what's your ideal day? And you're like, I don't know. Well, then you can't have it, right? So to me, an ideal day is from when you wake up, right? How your workday goes, and you can have different ideal days. And I will tell you, for more and more and more studying and reading, and I've been an intense student for a long time, but probably the last 12 months, I'm working out ideal days very thematically. So my coaching days are Wednesday. That's going to be a complete coaching day, because I think we all ping pong too much into different things. So for example, for realtors, showing days, again, as soon as I say this, people are like, that's not going to work. It can work. Right. So if I show Mondays, Tuesdays, and Fridays, then I can block those. So listing appointments, I've already done this for years. I only have a couple evenings. I will do evening listing appointments. I will stack them. If you stay in one thing thematically, you will get a lot more done. Part of your ideal days also are, which day are you working in your business, your profit and loss, your personal budget, right? When are you doing social media planning? Because the problem is, all of us are like, ooh, for 20 minutes, I'm going to do social media, and then I'm going to show house for 2 hours, and then I'm going to go do this, and then I'm going to go do this, right? So ideal days, you can have more than one, but with intention, right? So when do you make your phone calls? When do you get your appointments done, right? So what does your calendar look like? When do you have your break breads? And see people, right? So how do you work? So I think thematically, we got to work on ideal days so that we can actually have aspirations. We can set the time. If we say we're going to make 10 calls a day, if it never happens, we've got to plan this. So we got to be doing some planning on our ideal day. There is no form for ideal day. You just write it down. So I can't give you a form for it. Here it is. Just write down my ideal day and then really think about it. And you can say Mondays, it's this. Tuesdays, it's this. Wednesday for me, for example, I told you, is coaching day. So that day is coaching. I will take no appointments. It'll all be coaching, right? Because then you're not like trying to rip back to your office to get something done. So thematic ideal days. All right. Now, how about your ideal client? Now, I tell people this and they're like, yeah, everyone, like anyone who breathes and has a credit score over 680. Again, I'm picking a number. The lenders, I don't. This is where I'm a realtor. I will never be a threat to you. I don't know. But it's not anyone who needs to buy or sell is what a lot of realtors will tell me. My ideal client is anyone that really, anyone. No. So I have very clear ideal clients, from demographic, meaning I work in this radius. Price point, I'm pretty open. I love a first-time home buyer. I, of course, love a $2 million house. I don't have an ideal client by price, but they will follow my processes. They will respect my time. They will, right? Like, that's, if they're rude to me or my team, they're out. I don't care what their price point is, and I've proven it many times this year. So we've got to be clear on who's our ideal client and what do they do. They want to pay you is probably a good thing to write down. Right now, you all can run your businesses your way. Right? You can decide, you can be whatever fee you want. That is your business. That is your business. So everyone's like, you got to charge this. No, that's what the whole lawsuits were about, by the way. But I am a 3% realtor. That's it. That is my fee. And here's what you get for my fee. And if someone says, I don't want to pay your fee right now, look, I'm not crazy. If they're closer, they are in desperate need. Sure. But that my ideal client follows my processes and pays me. And if they don't, they're not my ideal client, right? Like if they call in and tell me how it's going to go, that does not work for me, right? They need to be going, we're working with someone else. So have you guys taken the time, really think about your ideal client? How many of you guys have something that you could read to me right now that says, this is my ideal client? So I want you to think about it because it gets way easier to hone in on who your clients is and who you're looking for, right? When you're very clear. Because here's what I will tell you, the clearer I've gotten on my ideal client, the more ideal clients I've gotten. Why do you think that is? Right? Because if you're like, I love people that treat me like crap and they don't want to pay me and they're going to be difficult the whole time, guess who else you're going to get? All their difficult friends. Right. So to me, it's like, I'm very clear. I'm very good at what I'm very good at. And people who want to work with me want me to guide them through the process and help them in the ways that I can and be strategic. If it's just, I need a realtor, I'm probably not for you. Right. So ideal client, really, like for you lenders, every one of you that are listening, ideal client will meet with you in person or on Zoom, period. Period. If they say, I won't meet you on Zoom, really? So guess what they're doing? They're shopping you. And I'd love you to figure out how many people as a lender that you've met with, that you've seen in person or on Zoom that you've lost versus the ones that you just talked to on the phone. And realtors, buyer consultations, every time, in person or on Zoom. You do not get into Margie's car unless we've done a buyer consultation in person or on Zoom, ever. Right? So those are things I want you guys to think about, right? So my ideal client's going to meet with me. Otherwise, not going to happen. So I need you guys to, those are kind of part of the processes, right? As you're developing this plan. And I think we all need to have a little more respect for ourselves too, right? Like I think, but thankfully, I will say the one thing that's, hear me out, don't like throw stuff at me and hang up. The one thing that might have been good from the lawsuit, again, let me finish the sentence, is that you have to have a buyer agency agreement signed. That a buyer has to sign an agreement with you. Because many of you guys didn't do that. We always did it. But you have to have an agreement signed. You have to explain to them why they should work with you and what you charge. Right? Period. Can't do it. Like the realtors that can't do it are going to have big problems. They just will. You have to explain your value. You have to explain why they're paying you. You have to explain they have to sign this. And if they're not going to sign it because they didn't used to have to sign it, then you have to be able to explain to them what's changed. If they still won't sign it, well, I guess they'll figure it out. Right? So to me, those are all things you guys need to be working on. Okay. Any questions yet before I continue? Anything anyone's struggling with any of that? Anything y'all need help with any of that? I'll watch the chat for a second, see if I hear anyone, and otherwise we'll keep going. All right, so are you all committing to this? Those of you I can see. Because here's the thing, you're spending an hour right before Christmas when you could be at Best Buy looking at the deals, right? Or you can be making these changes. So again, vision board, values exercise you're going to get, picking a word, and it should motivate you, right? Like, yes, if your word's like, if you pick joy and you're like, my word is joy, then I'd like you to pick another word. Your ideal day, right? And your ideal client. Okay, those are things to start with. Now, you're also going to get a 1-year life and business plan. You're so welcome. And it's either going to look like this or the beautiful branded one that we have, but you're going to do a 1-year life and business plan. So you will get this form and it's very strategic. It's going to start with fun. So how many of you, here's a great question. How many of you have already looked at 2025 and said, all right, I'm going to block in vacations already, right? That I'm going to take next year and some long weekends. Good. Oh, good for you. Some of you, yes. All right. I like it. I want you to think about it. Like if you know that you go, some of them are given, like every July you go to the beach. Okay, put it on your calendar. But too many people I coach are like, yeah, every year we keep saying we're going to take a vacation, but we don't do it. Well, that's unfortunate. And no. So I need you to block them in. Now, again, maybe things change, but you say, okay, in August, I'd really like to go away with the family before school starts. Put it on the calendar. Plan it because it won't happen. And guess what? Then your baby's going to graduate from college. My 6'6" baby, who was 23, graduated. on Saturday from the University of Dayton. He is flying the coop, right? I took 5 weeks of vacation with him last year with both kids. 5 weeks, 1 3-week trip, 1 2-week trip. Why? Well, first, because it was fun. Two, he's about to start his big boy job, right? He starts in January. You think he's going to be able to take 3 weeks off anytime soon to go traveling with me? Nope. So do I regret taking 5 weeks off? Nope. Do you guys need to think about where you are with your kids and that maybe you got to take some vacations before you can't? Because even if you think they're younger and you'll have more time, it's going to go fast. So vacations, long weekends, you've got to book them. And by the way, any of you guys that have kids at home that play a sport, you get a calendar, put it on your calendar. And then when someone says, hey, can you come over tonight? You say, no, I got an appointment. Or I would say, I'm at a baseball game. And if they say, well, gosh, that's more important, it sure is, right? Ideal client understands. Now, if I have one every single night for 6 weeks, probably they're not going to understand. But I can't meet you Tuesday, but I can meet you Wednesday or Thursday because of a baseball game. There you go. So then we're going to get into other things. So as you're filling this out, you're going to see if there's stuff you want. A lot of stuff. I'm not a big, it seems like I'm a liar because I got a lot of stuff back here, but I am not really a stuff person other than this stuff. I don't care about expensive stuff, but we're going to work on increasing your cash net worth. We're going to work on giving, which is super important, giving of your time and giving of your resources. So how many of you have regular monthly times that you go and donate your time to charities? Okay. Seems like something we should work on. So as you're coming into 2025, add this. What do you care about? What do you know to donate your time to? So we as a team every month go and fill senior boxes at the food bank. So we'll go and fill lots of boxes with food, and it's super fun actually, and it's gratifying, and it's also humbling. So I do a lot with the Children's Hospital. I do a lot with Piedmont Housing. I'm on a lot of boards. I do a lot of things, but as a team, we do two things. Well, we do a lot. We go and work out together every week, and we donate our time once a month. So I need you to put that down if you're not doing it. Who are you excited about? Can you go and like walk dogs? Can you go and volunteer at the hospital? By the way, your hospital, your children's hospital needs volunteers. You can get certified and help the kids at the hospital because I do that. I'm a C+ volunteer, so I can go in with the sickest of kids, and you can go and read to them and you can help them. So for 2025, I need you guys to be a little more giving of your time and write that down as something you want to do. It's very rewarding and it gets you out of your head. You think you have a tough life, you don't generally, right? So give back some time. So then we're going to get into your spirituality. Spirituality, by the way, it's very personal. It can be meditation. It can be yoga. It can be church. It can be whatever you want it to be. It can be walks in the woods. And then fitness and health, right? Because a lot of people have really abandoned fitness and health. So you're going to create this one-year business plan. And on this one-year business plan, you're going to plan out your fun first, your family, your fitness, right? Things that you need to do. So for all of you that belong to a gym that you basically, I belonged to a gym for years before. I've been going for about 5 years, but basically I pretty much probably built a gym with my monthly membership and then said, well, this is ridiculous. So if you need to join a gym or go to the gym or go for walks or whatever it is that you need to do. So we always start, for me, the one-year business plan and your planning is personal first. If you don't start with your family, going out with your friends. So every Monday I work out every Monday with two of my really good friends and we go eat. That's our time together, right? Every Monday. So we kick it and then we get a lemon drop. It's kind of great. I get stuffing beat out of me and then I have a lovely beverage. It works out. It's balance. Balance is important. So I need you guys to think about things like this, okay? So first is personal, and then on your business plan is your business, right? And this is where I think you guys really need to dial in. So if you guys are doing business plans, you should be able to tell me things like so as a realtor, I can tell you what my goal is to close every month, what my expenses are every month, what I net every month, what I need to do to be profitable, right? Like those are just numbers that this is how many I've closed this year. This is my volume. This is my units. This is my net. This is my expenses, right? We've got to know this. And unfortunately, I obviously coach realtors, and almost every time, and we do our interviews, nobody can tell me. Maybe volume, maybe gross, right? But we've got to know these numbers. So I need you guys to look back, and this is a great time to do it. Now, 2024 is painful for a lot of people, but okay. But you need to be able to go back and look at this year. And Jonas, another form I can share is like a breakdown of the year, a lead breakdown form, which I've been doing since 2008. And I have more fun on some years with it than others. But, right, some years are like, yay. It will literally take every lead you have by source, as long as you can track it, how many you got, how many you converted, and then how much you made for this year per source, like past clients, past client referrals. It's a great form. And so it really will let you deep dive into all of your numbers. So that's a form I'll make sure you guys have as well. And you can know literally, like, I make this much off this source, especially if you're paying money for a source, right? So anyone, and this is not judging, we are in a non-judgment zone, but anyone who's buying leads or paying MSAs or whatever it is, you better be able to look at it and say, okay, I spent this much, I get this many leads, I convert this many leads, I make this month, I make this much off this source, whether it's advertising on the radio or a magazine or whatever it is, because you will just keep spending money on something and realize, well, I am not generating. So I either got to do a better job generating from the source, or I've got to not put money here. So I think you guys have to be very clear on that. So that's important as well, because now it's time to renew, right? It's time to renew like these subscriptions and all of these things and really hone in on what's working. So for you guys, you got to know that, right? You got to be profitable. So how much do you need to make at home? How much do you need to make to take home and pay your home bills on your personal budget? How much do you have to pay your business bills? Because you should be able to look every month and go, I have this many closings. Wow. These are the expenses. This is what's left over. This is what I can take home, right? It's not sexy, but it's important. So I need you guys to be able to do that as well. So what those monthly expenses are, right? At home and at work. This is also a time from that form, as well as your business review, to know what your sources of business really are. What did you really close from past clients? What did you really close from past client referrals? What did you really close from business relationships, right? And these colder lead sources you might have. So where is it coming from? And then now I'm doing my business plan for next year. So how do I expand upon that? Like I can go back to 2008. Not that important to go that far, obviously, but this year versus last year, wait, we're way low on this or we're way high on this. What did we do differently? What did we stop doing that we shouldn't have stopped doing? What is it that we increased, and how did that happen? Right? Oh, we added, I'm making some of this up now, but we added an email newsletter. We better not stop doing that. Things like that. So you really got to be able to pay attention to, where is this business coming from? And then how do I grow it? Right? So if we're not getting enough leads, we've got to do a better job of our generation, right? So if we realize we're not getting enough past client leads, then we got to say, am I calling them twice a year? Am I staying in touch with them in some way, shape, or form every month? Do I do an annual review program, right? Am I doing a a birthday or an anniversary program, right? Am I doing a great job staying in touch with them? Am I providing them great value? Am I asking for referrals if I am? Right. And then, okay, if your past client business is slowing down, which, by the way, if you read the statistics, people aren't moving every 3 to 5 to 7 years. 14 years is now the average if you ask a buyer. So if I was really relying on every 4 years, this turnover that now could go up to 4 times longer, I better have something to replicate that business. Right. So you guys got to be thinking about, what are other pillars of business? So I will tell you one thing that I did this year. This isn't really this call, but I want you all to think about it, because every person on this call should be doing this. So I don't care if you're a lender or a realtor. How many of you have a mastermind with your best business partners locally? Okay, well, you're going to do it. So write this down. I need you, because here we all are like, how do I get more business? I don't know how to get more business. Maybe I'll go to an event, but I'll go to the event and I'll only talk to the one person I know, because while I'm supposed to be here to meet more people, I'm just not going to do that. And then I'm going to leave the event and I'm going to be like, well, this doesn't work. So let's try this. You have a circle of your business associates. Now, that can be past clients that have businesses. It should be your attorney, title company, homeowners insurance, home inspector, your lender, financial advisor, your accountant. Mine has one of our best friends that owns restaurants, my builder, a contractor, my painter, a handyman. Like, so let's think about the circle of people. And we get together and I help them with their business, right? And they help me. So we talk about their biggest struggles and what they can work on and how we can help each other. And then it's this local group. So what has become one of my biggest sources of business? Anyone want to guess? Yeah. So it's easy. You go, hey, I'd like to do this mastermind with you. And I'd like to invite you. And so we're going to meet twice a month. We do one lunch and one breakfast, right? So if some people can't do both, I can at least get to one, but people like to attend. And then we go through and talk about, there's actually an agenda. Yes, I can share all this with you. It's actually really easy. We have an agenda of what we're going to talk about. We're going to catch up. We're going to talk about what's going really well for their businesses, what they're struggling with in their businesses. What could they use help with? And then there's 15 people there that can help them with things and ideas and connections. So last week I went to coffee with my home inspector and my homeowners insurance people and connected them. And we came up with strategies on during the home inspection when there are issues with the house or riders that we need to make sure that my insurance person is including to make sure I'm taking the best care of my clients, they can work together for that. And they can help cross refer. Someone just asked, do I limit the amount of people? I don't want to have more than 15. I think if you guys can do 8 to 10, that's perfect, up to 15. I think if you have too many people, because people are like, I want tons of people. Now then you do happy hour. If you want to appreciate all your vendors and everyone, do a quarterly happy hour and invite all of them. Then you say, I want to celebrate and connect you all. But if you're really masterminding, you can't get too big. 8 to 10, max 15. I would tell you probably have 12 to 15 because every month there are people who can't come, right? Someone can't come this time. And then you're always going to have 8 to 10 at least people there. But I'm just telling you, if you want to show appreciation and connect with those people and help connect them to other people. So like my attorney is now connected to my financial advisor. They all use my painter. It just has worked very well. So as a strategy, and by the way, you're supposed to like these people. So if you guys are like, well, I really don't like my accountant, maybe find another accountant, right? If you're like, I don't like these people, then let's talk. You got another issue. But this is something that I think you guys can add as a source to your business. And it is invaluable. And I have a great time. I look forward to the meeting every time. We laugh like crazy. We help each other. They give me the best ideas for like social media or things that I wouldn't have thought of. And it's a different perspective. You guys are lenders and realtors. You live in lender world and realtor world. You lenders are in your PMI and PITI and all the stuff that nobody knows what that means. We do, but you're in your acronym lender world. We're in our, only can speak, just listed, just sold. Everyone hates that, by the way. And so we got to get out of that. And by the way, just as an example, one of them were like, why do you post under contract? And I was like, what do you mean? He's like, I get it. He's like, but I don't care. He said a much more graphic thing. I'm going to be very polite on the mastermind. He's like, I don't care. I can't buy that house. Why would I care? And I was like, oh, yeah. He's like, great, you did your job. Yay, you did your job. He's like, so under contract for me is useless. So it's like, but what you need to do is do a better job as they're coming out, right? You need to give me more information about why I should work with you. So the more outside perspective you can get on these posts, because think about it, every realtor just listed, just sold, under contract, I'm great, right? Like, how do we shift that narrative? So again, your mastermind can help you with that. So then I want you to think about your current teams. Now, some of you, you're like very easy, no team, but your team is, your anyone that you're working with. So if you are closing a lot of transactions and have no help, and your P&L allows it, you could probably use some help. Because I know you're the best at everything. I know, like you guys, no one is better than you than putting up a sign, inputting a listing, a checklist. Man, I can run a checklist like no one either, right? But we're at the point now that if your business is rolling and you want to provide better service, you could probably use some help. Now, please don't go and tell everyone that Marjorie said I have to hire someone because I don't have your profit and loss. I don't know what your expenses are, but it may be time to think about, do you need an assistant? Do you need a VA? Do you share an assistant? Is it time to bring someone into the team if you're losing leads? Right? If you're dropping leads, then you might need some extra help. I want you to think about it. So do you need to make a hire? Frankly, do you need to make an unhire, right? Is it time to let someone go? These are the times that I need you to think about that. So, and then you're going to take a second on this one. What is your biggest current weakness that you need to fix? Your biggest current weakness that you need to, honestly, like being really honest, right? Is it your hours you're working? Your lack of leads? Lack of follow-up? You're a complete mess, right? Being really honest. Your lack of give a crap. Like some people, it's just their lack of, yeah. Yes, Stacy, this year has defeated you. Girlfriend, I can't see you because I can only see like a small people screen. This year has, oh, there you are. Hi, Stacy. This year has defeated so many people. So, but however, it hasn't defeated you because defeated is permanent, right? This year has sucked the life out of you temporarily. Yes. But this is why this is the time to really shake it up, right? So right now it's like, I think when something happens to all of us, we automatically are like, ugh, and then we go this way, right? We're like, well, it's this, well, it's this. So I think it's time to acknowledge all the reality that's true, like the market, like the rates, like clients and people are moving less often in lawsuits. But it's time to also go, okay, like if I'm going to be brutally honest, right? What is it that I know I gotta own? Like if I know there's certain simple things I need to do as a realtor. If I need to call, I'm just going to pick some. If I need to call outward bound calls on purpose, 5 people a day. If I know what my social post schedule is supposed to be. If I know I need to do this, I need to have at least 5 lunches or breakfasts with clients every week, right? I know there's just a certain activity level that I need to hit. And I can say I didn't do it. Like I just didn't do it. And I know why. Like, but now the thing is for all of us, it's like it's time to exercise the emotional stuff in whatever way we have it this year. And some of it's and I'm not saying it's not real. Let's be clear. Like my dad died this year. That's huge. It was brutal, right? It was awful the first 6 months of this year. I took care of my dad, which I'll never ever regret, but it crushes your, like, I don't have parents anymore, right? Like it's insane to me that I am the oldest now and I'm like the parental figure, which is terrifying. But this year has been hard for a lot of people and it's been hard for you. So I think it's time, like we've got to really sit and think about what we need to like move forward. And then a lot of people are burnt. So this is also where it's not, now you're on this, but you got to take some time over the holidays. And I will tell you, I think gratitude, I know this is like, people are like, yeah, yeah. But I think really going, okay, this is honestly where I need to work on. And I'm going to make this list of what I want to, in order of what I need to do. Right. So I will tell you, what is it that you need to fix? And then who can help you? Now, for some people, if you're really burnt or you need to talk to someone, I think it can be therapy. It can be the gym, which is a form of therapy. It really is. I mean, I think there are days where I'm like, I don't want to go. And then I come out and I'm like, thank God, I need to like exert, I need to get some of this off of me. But I think we need to think about what is it that we need to do, right? And how can we find that spark of joy, hence your why? Like, why are you doing this? Because a lot of people are like, I don't need to do this anymore. And I'm like, you know what? You're right. If you have another option, you don't. Now, for me, I'm like, who's going to pay me? What skill set do I have, right? That I am going to be able, like, probably not a lot, right? Like, and then I'd have to have a job where someone told me what to do all day long and I'd be really bad at that. So I think if we really say, okay, this is what I've got to do. And this is what I love most about my job. And you got to spend more time there, right? So I'm just saying, and someone said, I can't get in my own way for a follow-up plan. Yes. Oh, so, okay. When I see templates, so someone wrote, I can't get out of my own way when it comes to setting a follow-up plan for past clients and sphere of influence. When I see templates, I hate them because I think people won't see the value. Oh, then I get so overwhelmed, so I don't do anything. Yes. Okay. Yes. Okay. Let's talk about that. So another form, Jonas, you're going to write down for me is there's a marketing plan I will share. It's a simple one. But here's what I will tell you when it comes to your sphere of influence and your past clients. I want you guys to think about like what gives you joy, like what gives us joy is helping our like truly, like this sounds like, oh, you should put that on a t-shirt. But what I love providing value to them, meaning they have a problem, I'm a fixer. So I don't know how many of you guys raise your hand, like I am the queen fixer. Like someone tells me something like, I'm sorry, the person that I was seeing with my dad, they were like, you cannot, he's going to pass. You can't, oh no, I got that. Like I'm going to take him to the doctor. I am a fixer, right? I'm going to, no, I could not fix it. But I'm just saying, so if you think about it, what gives you joy with those clients? So for me, it's connecting them to resources, calling them. I'm not good at, hey, how you doing? What's going, like, I'm not good at the BS call. I'm not. I am a high D, high I, but a high D. I am really good at, oh, you need help. How can I help you? Like, I'll come move you. I've done it this year. I help clients move. I help them clean their house. I will help them build a deck. I will do it all. So that gives me joy, right? So for you guys, when it's follow up, it has to feel genuine to you. So like when you got to have an event, I like blowing stuff up before you panic. I mean, fireworks, not buildings. So we have pig roasts and I blow up fireworks. So it's hugely joyful for me. I love doing it, right? And then clients are always like, oh, fireworks. No, no, no. I blow some stuff up. I mean, they are humongous illegal fireworks. That's my thing. So for you guys, what's your thing, right? What gives you joy? So for me, connect with your clients on things that give you that joy. Oh my God, a Christmas tree burning party. I'm coming. Jonas, I know you live across the country. That is genius, right? So to me, like
It is our 8th year. We have had, it's a big realtor group, a lender group. We have had the fire department there 6 out of 8 years. Never a
that's
fire, just
that's
the massive
success.
globe that you can see 3 cities away.
I'm just saying, like, what is it, right? Like, I mean, to me, you could have a book club where really you're having lemon drops. I think I need you to think about what is it that you connect with what. So to me, that's where an annual review program generates with me. Cause it's like, how can I connect you and provide you lasting value? Like when someone sends me a picture of their backsplash tile that they just installed, I'm like, yay, you, right? So that's genuine. So for you guys that feel like you can't create that past client follow-up program and event program, to me, it's like, okay, what do you enjoy? Right. So what is it that you really connect with? What are you really good at? What problem do you solve for them that is something that provides value? So to me, like I love the birthday and home anniversary cards. I just love them. Like I would fill them with glitter and confetti, but I think they'd hate me. Like I want a t-shirt cannon, right? That I can like launch t-shirts at people. I know it's weird, but it's stuff that I like. So what is stuff that you would get joy out of? How do you want to connect with them? Is it little gifts? Is it Popeyes? Is it a class you could teach them? I need you to think about your follow-up should be something that just really resonates with you. I'm doing cooking lesson videos with my husband now, which is comical because nobody cares about my real estate videos. Everyone is texting me about the 6-minute egg. Okay, 6-minute egg. Yes, that is my highest viewed video, by the way. Congratulations, 6-minute egg. And I'm not really talking. So again, these are things that people get value from that you can have fun with. So I need you guys to think about, right? Like, I think people's frustration too is you're not living in the values. If you do this value exercise, it'll help you, right? Because if one of your huge value is joy and appreciation, which is a lot of people's, if you're burnt out and tired and feeling no joy, and you're not really feeling appreciation or giving it, you're going to be extra burnt out. I promise you. So for now, the people that are super pumped for next year, I'm like, what do I do to go to the next level? Right. Like I'm sitting here thinking about how do I make open houses more fun? Because I don't have that much fun in an open house. So I'm gonna, right. So yes, I've told people this. You guys think I'm nuts. I'm getting the little wavy people that I'm going to put in the yard. I have a little spotlight thing I'm going to do. Like I'm turning this into something that I'm actually excited about. So for you guys, what is it that you can do, right, to enjoy yourselves more, right? How can you take making phone calls from the worst thing on earth to something you're excited to do because you're providing a benefit for someone? That's what I need for you guys to all think about, right? Like, and really honestly, like if we can honestly say, I didn't do this, and not in a beat yourself up way. That's not the point right now, but in a, gosh, I've really got to commit to this way. That's what I want you guys to look at. Seriously. And then the last thing I want you to do is a SWOT analysis. Do you guys do a SWOT? How many of you do a SWOT analysis at the end of every year? Ooh, kids. Here's what we're going to do. So a SWOT analysis is strengths, weaknesses. I can send you a form. It's very easy. You take a piece of paper and you divide it in 4 and you put strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Okay. So it's detailed, right? And if you have a team member, assistant, whoever it may be, I probably wouldn't have your spouse do it with you, except for at home you can. But like my husband, I'll tell him I'm teaching a time management class, and he's like, "That's comical." So yeah. So strengths, weaknesses, opportunities, and threats. Be really honest. So your strengths are internal and external, right? So strengths, resilience is a strength of mine. Joy is a strength of mine, right? I'm also very organized and systematized. That's an external business strength. It can be personality traits that are in all of these things. Weaknesses can be personal, like you won't pick up the phone, you're late to appointments, right? Or it can be systems or structures. You have no listing presentation, you have no buyer consultation, right? Which then we can turn into opportunities, right? So what are opportunities? Let's actually, we're going to take a second as we're wrapping up. This is for all the, again, everyone's who's a little negative. What are opportunities? And I want people to put them in the chat and speak them. What are opportunities really in 2025? Jonas, I can see you. I'm picking on you first. What's an opportunity?
Rates coming down, so the market getting busy again, and the people that have been holding on to their houses to wait for that happening to start listing.
Yes, that's a very good one. So rates coming down is an opportunity. Who else has an opportunity for us?
Adding more events. So I do real
Yes,
mine now when I add a happy hour.
there you go. So
Marjorie, it says all the people that say first of the year, it's time, sung in my Mariah voice.
yes, yes. Oh, I would like to hear that sung in the Mariah voice. I think yes. Everyone who says it's time finally. Someone said first time home buyers. Yes. So here's something you guys need to be super clear on. Who's moving, right? Who is moving and why? In your areas, it might be a little different. First time home buyers, absolutely. Move down sellers. Yes. I need to get to a primary master bedroom, right? On the first floor. A primary bedroom. We don't say that master anymore. A primary bedroom on the first floor. Or, right, I need to move. So we got to be really thinking about what are the opportunities. Here's what I'm going to tell you. For me, the biggest opportunity I see as a realtor is the realtors that cannot demonstrate their unique value and why someone should hire them. Someone that cannot explain why the lawsuits have happened, why they should work with them. I think it's someone that doesn't have a set plan that they can demonstrate what makes them different in their marketing plan, in their pricing plan. These are important, right? So to me, it's like I have taken months to put together my service plans. So for me, we've upped our game. You have an opportunity to up your game. I need you to write that down. I don't care what your game is because I think my game's pretty good. I'm upping my game. So 2025 should be a year to up your game. And it doesn't have to be massive and it doesn't have to be 50 things, but what makes you different? That's an opportunity. Why should someone hire you? And please, for God's sake, don't say negotiation. No. Yes, you should be good at it, but it's not a differentiator because everyone says they're good at it. They're bad at it, but they say they're good at it. What's one thing you do differently? Right? That's what you guys need to be thinking of. That's an opportunity. Realtors leaving the business is not a good thing, meaning I wish no one harm, but it's an opportunity. Market share coming up. There's supposed to be 10% more listings, opportunity, right? Listening, yes, that makes you different. But then we got it. So listening's like a skill, but then you got to flip that. So we're going to do a mastermind on this, Jonas. We're going to do a mastermind on their unique, finding your value proposition and what makes you unique, and then taking words like listening and negotiating and turning them into something that's a benefit to the client that you can demonstrate. I think that's really important. So let's work on one of those for early next year. And I can share you guys some kind of questions on how to find your unique value proposition. I think that'll be really important. So someone's just said, this is so helpful. Oh, thank you. You've had your license 3 years, pretty lean years. Oh yeah. So it can only get better, right? So everyone who had a bad year this year, 2025 is going to be way better. I mean, that's an opportunity, right? I feel this is a perfect time. This is the time to put the plan in place. Because unfortunately, what a lot of people do is they kind of are like the little bears that go in their cave, and then the little bears reappear in February and say, oh, I wonder if anyone wants to list their house. Too late, right? Now is the time, right? And then threats. So what's a threat? Internal and external. Like, very honestly, a threat is staying kind of so beat down right now, right? A threat is not taking your time right now to kind of regroup and say, hey, I'm super grateful for these things. This is what's going really well. This is what I'm really good at. This is what I've really got to work on, right? A threat is another agent taking your business. A threat is another lender stealing your clients, right? It's just true. A threat is me not being at my very best to take care of my family. Right? Those are all things. Someone said providing great local vendors for remodels. Yes. Being a connector is a huge blessing. Being a positive voice in your community is massive, right? When someone runs into you, like, I can't tell you how many times, like, I watch this too. People run into realtors and they're like, it sucks. And I'm like, ooh, yeah, I can't believe they didn't call you. Right? Like, you are Debbie Downer. So I don't mean like smoke crack and be fake and the world's perfect and everyone should move. That's not what I'm telling you. But I am telling you, like, hey, here's how I can help you. Here's what you should do. Here's what we can help you with, right? We've got to be that voice that those people come to and they want to work with us. Right? I am very positive. Yes, it's very weird. I'm positive pretty much all the time. I really am. And you know want to know why? Because I've had a lot of crap happen, right? And it got to the point where I was like, well, something else is going to happen, right? Like, I was pretty positive 2 hours after losing my dad, right? Because I was lucky to be with him. I was lucky that I got the opportunity to take care of him, right? This has been a tough year. Let me be clear. Also in real estate, but man, I can tell you that I'm looking forward to 2025. Someone said, okay, I love this one. I had a friend tell me the only Christmas cards he gets are from real estate agents. So I made a stupid video just for him that made him laugh. His house is now listed a year later. That's funny. So I would actually tell you, though, I want you guys to think about how many of you did holiday cards. I don't care if it's holiday, New Year's, whatever, to all of your past clients, anyone in your database. Oh, you're missing out. So those of you who have not sent out a holiday / Christmas / this time of year, do it now. Now, if you think, okay, it's too late for that, do a Happy New Year card, right? You can even joke about, whoopsie, no Christmas cards. So I did a holiday card. I got this on Simply to Impress. It was the least expensive. You're welcome. Simply to Impress, because I went on Minted and I love Minted, but I was like, dang. It was like a calligraphy artist made each one of them separately. I was like, whoa, that's expensive. So Simply to Impress. I got to change this. This was pretty much there. Then I wrote a funny note on the back for everyone because I am a little weird. You guys are clear on this, right? So I got so many thank yous from clients that were like, oh my God, this was great. Thanks for thanking me. It's a holiday card. We don't really need to thank me. But I want you guys to pay attention how many holiday cards you're getting in the mail. Seriously, how many? Right? I get a bunch because the funny part is I think I send one and people are like, oh, I better send her one. So I have no idea if I'm getting like they meant to do it or it's like whoops, I should send her one too. But not many people do them anymore, right? And these aren't hard. So you can go on Shutterfly, you can go on Simply to Impress. They're a little more business. Yes, send them follow up in January. Now, please don't put a business card in there, right? Or blah, 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 it's a great time to sell your home. No, this is not where we're doing that. This is a holiday card, right? There is no, other than my little logo. That's my logo. That's it. That's all that's business on here. It is a holiday card. If you put a business card, I will fly to your town and smack you on the head. Seriously, someone's going to tell me and I'm going to show up. This is a happy holidays, funny message. great recipe for eggnog from your Kentucky, relatives, whatever it may be. That's what you do. So everyone who hasn't done it on this call, get on the horn and do this, please, because this will make a big thing and it'll be fun. It'll give you some joy, right? There you go. If you're a little burnt, I mean, like I said, I just, whatever comes to my head, which can be odd sometimes, but have fun with it. Send them out, right? That's a great way to end this year, right? And by the way, a couple other ways to end this year. Anyone who sent a referral to you this year should get a little gift. So you should be able to say to your vendors and to your past clients, send them some fun popcorn. I'm telling you, the gifts used to be like flowing in here. We ain't got nothing, no cookies this year. I don't, everyone's a Scrooge. So you will stand out if you give a little gift to your referral partners, those people that took great care of you. Holiday card, referral gift. And to wrap up, business plan. We're going to get you all these forms. If you ever want to reach out, seriously, if you ever want to reach out and say, hey, how would I do this? Or I need help with this, I will always answer. Jonas can tell you, I will answer. Now, if it's noon and I'm in an appointment, you might not hear from me until a little later, but I am happy to help you with everyone. I'm committed to really helping the real estate and lending industry. So I will share these forms. I will share any process I have with you. I want to make sure you guys have a great 2025. So if you listened and you enjoyed this call, please, please, please commit to everything you got to work on for next year. So I want to thank you.